Okay, so today I'm talking to Andy Thomas. He is an electrician. So, Andy, I've said what your job title is. Tell me about your kind of day to day. What do you get up to on a daily basis?
So I install, maintain electrical systems. So that can be anything from a domestic property through to commercial offices, etc., or industrial premises. So yeah,
Variety.
variety of different jobs.
And out of all of those, what would be your preferred type of job? Is it more the commercial side or residential?
No, it's more commercial, industrial, really.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's different type of installation. Different times of cable. So yeah, it's more interesting.
Right. Okay. And are there any kind of big jobs that you've worked on that have been quite interesting, I suppose?
Yeah, I worked on Severn Trent water, which was quite interesting. Working on big, massive buildings with big installs on, so that was good, really good. So yeah, that was well worth doing.
Fantastic. And I mean, in terms of your background and how you got to become an electrician, can you just tell us a bit about where you kind of started? I mean, I suppose, what you focused on in school, and then kind of like the career path from there.
Yeah, I got into it a bit late, really, and different. So I chose to get into electrics or electrical work. So I went back to college and did night school, but a lot of it is maths based. So you need to do calculations for cables and whatever. So if you're good at maths and you're pretty practical, that is electrician is a really good job to get into. So I went back to. I was going to say I went back to night school and studied 1 or 2 nights a week to get into it.
Right. So at school, you've really got to make sure that you're focusing on your maths, getting those kind of qualifications. But
maths is a big thing. Yeah, your sciences, I suppose.
Okay. So say we've got some pupils at school who want to become electricians. What would be the route for them? So kind of, would it be GCSEs, A levels, and so on and so forth, or what's the normal route?
Yeah. Obviously, you've got to have your maths and your GCSEs, but then I think you can get into it via an apprenticeship. So you'll obviously go to college as well as working on the job with electrical contractors, and then after you think your 3 years and building a portfolio of the work you've been doing, then you have to do like what's called an AM2, I think it is, which is like an all-day exam, and then you can get on to be qualified electrician.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, I assume a lot of electricians go on to be self-employed. So I imagine having some knowledge of kind of business and management of finance is probably quite a good thing to have as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there is a lot of subcontractors and people that work for themselves out there. So yeah, definitely.
So what would you say is the best part of your job?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
So what would you say is the best part of your job?
The best part of my job is probably the installation side of things. Designing and putting an installation together and then seeing it all come to, put it into service is probably the best part.
Right. Okay. And I assume as part of that, and I might be wrong, but I'm guessing that there's quite a lot of like problem solving. So you encounter a problem, you've got to find a way around it.
Yeah, problem solving, fault finding. So yeah, that is good. I mean, and the good thing about electricians is also the camaraderie on site with a lot of the guys.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. So yeah.
Okay. And I mean, the flip side of what's the best part? What would you say is the most challenging part of the job, or the worst part of the job?
I'd say the worst part is definitely the paperwork side. I mean,
Right.
it's the way of the world at the minute, isn't it? Everything is paperwork. But yeah, there was a lot of paperwork. There was a lot of paperwork with and certification which comes with doing a job. So yeah, that's definitely the worst side.
Right. Okay. I mean, again, just thinking about advising the kids at school, what would be the main qualifications that you'd have to get to be a qualified electrician, just so they can go off and research kind of those options?
So you'd need. I think it's City and Guilds level 2 and level 3. This is what I did anyway. In electrical installations.
Mm-hmm.
So it covers a broad spectrum really, but you do that as well as if you're an apprentice, you then work on site and you get the hands-on training on site. But yeah, that's what I did. I think it was the level 2 2365 MV, and then MVQ level 2 and level 3.
Right, so you kind of do them alongside you kind of part, say full-time work.
You do it. So I think it's sort of like day release. I think so. I think you go like 1 day a week at college as well, and then the other 4 days you'd be working alongside an electrician.
Right. Okay. And how long does it take to complete that process in terms of being an apprentice and the qualifications and the exams?
Say that again, sorry.
So how long does it take for you to actually qualify? So say, for example, we've got a pupil who wants to go to college and do those qualifications alongside an apprenticeship. How long until they would become a qualified electrician?
3 years, I think it is.
Right.
3.5 years. But obviously, if you're really good at it and you push on, you can obviously do your portfolio, get all that done pretty quick. And then it's just your sort of like I say, your AM2, which is like an all-day course, which you do at the end. So you can get it. If you struggle, then obviously it takes you longer. But
right, so the portfolio is
about 3 years.
Right, so the portfolio is something that you put together for college, I assume, so you can demonstrate that you've got the experience.
That's it. Yeah. You just have an assessor basically just showing that you are actually doing the work on site and you know all the different types of installations and what have you.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, you can do your AM2, which is like your all-day exam, which also proves to the assessor that you're competent in doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, well, one last question from me, and I think I know the answer to this one already. If you weren't doing this, what would be your ideal job?
Professional golfer.
Professional golfer, there we go. That's what I was thinking it'd be. Excellent, that's great. I had money on that being your answer. Right, okay, Andy, thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it, and look after yourself. Take care.
All right, thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.